Welcome and thank you so much for joining us. We are live March 30th, 2009 on this Monday edition from 11:30 until 12:30 on the second half of the first hour, the first half of the second hour. Webster Griffin Tarbley, before he goes and jumps on an airplane down the road a few hours from now, will be in studio with us. He's down here for the second Obama film. I'm interviewing him and others. We've got Webster Tarbley to be in studio coming up in 30 minutes. He was obviously with me yesterday on the Sunday abbreviated transmission. Very informative. Then coming up in an hour and a half from Sacramento, California. They've also been in Los Angeles visiting the tent cities. They barely missed Arnold Schwarzenegger yesterday, surveying one of the tent cities outside Sacramento, with the mayor out there saying this is going to be tough love. Tough love. We're going to kick you out of here and make you go to the fairgrounds to live behind barbed wire under police and CPS control. So quite a precedent being set there, and I've got a team out there on the scene. So Rob Dew and Jason Douglas will be joining us in an hour and a half from the camp. We also have a lady who has an organization that tracks the abuse of prisoners in jails, but not just the physical abuse, but the medical abuse, and also how some of their diets consist of close to 60-70% of soy filled with estrogen, and the health problems the men are having are just absolutely off the chart. Of course, most of the school children are eating close to half soy, and so that's one reason the boys are so effeminate, and just so happens the plastic that we drink out of, the most popular plastic, leaches estrogen, so it hyper-feminizes the girls going into puberty now at age 3. Used to be age 14, then 10, then 9, then 8, now 7, now hundreds of thousands in the West in age 3 to 4. So we'll be breaking that down in the last hour of the show today. I talked to the We Are Change folks in New York some yesterday. Rob Jacobson talked to them. Luke's being arraigned in court right now. We're working on getting some of those guys, if not Luke, on the show later, popping in. He went to a hotel that has bars and restaurants. It's advertised as if it's public. Bloomberg security people said, stay here. The police came. They didn't say leave. They said, you're arrested for trespassing. And so we did an emergency broadcast on that Saturday night when they gave us the call. I happened to be up here in the studio, so it wasn't on the AM and FM dial. We had a couple thousand people listening to the rebroadcast and kind of the dead time on Saturday night. But that group is a nucleus of people, got the word out all over the web, and their phones have been busy for days at the 18th precinct. The reason we did that is they were also telling him, boy, you're impersonating the press. You don't, We Are Change isn't press, Infowars.com isn't press, because he's a freelance reporter for us. And I called the police up and I said, no, that's a syndicated radio show. He does do reporting for us. And they said, no, it isn't, and hung up on us. So I wanted them to know, no, the people of America are watching this and what you do with Luke. So we appreciate everybody who made those phone calls and did that. They arrested 2 other people as well. So we'll get Matt Lepasic or Sabrina Rivera, or maybe even Luke if he's out today. Who knows with these court trials? Sometimes they bring them in to be arraigned. There's too many in front of them, and so you get put back in the clink, back in the hooskow, back in the jail cell. But quite a system where they say you're trespassing. The New York police lost several thousand lawsuits total just in 2004 from the 2004 RNC, where they would just scoop people off the sidewalk saying it was trespassing. And whenever Luke goes out on the sidewalk in front of Building 7, the new Building 7, Larry Silverstein, and talks about how 9/11 is an inside job, they have private security thugs with the police come out and say, no, this street belongs to Silverstein, and the road belongs to Silverstein, even though it's city property and Port Authority. And we're going to say your camera's a gun and your backpack's a bomb. We know it isn't, but we're going to say it is, and you're going to spend 30 days in jail as a terrorist before we find out you aren't one. So this is the type of criminality, and they've now done this to Luke Rudowski. All right.